Today I have with me Tom Beaton, who's one of our mentors for our Talented Athlete program. And Tom's going to be talking about the very important area of fitness. Welcome along, Tom.
Vince, how are you, mate?
I'm very well, thanks. Okay, we'll start off with, I guess, how you got such an interest in fitness and that sort of thing. When you left school, you pretty much went straight into that fitness industry, work-wise?
Yeah, as soon as I left school, I went and did a little bit of concreting for 6 months, and then got sick of that, and obviously the cricket and my passion for fitness and being in the gym a lot of my life, fell in love with it, and from there on I've never looked back, and it fit really well with cricket.
Good. And Dave Virgo was the person you got involved with, who was an ex-Mount Lawley player. I think he was a state squad member at one stage. He would have had a strong influence on you?
Yeah, me and Dave, we're very good mates, we're very close, and he has his own business, so that was a great opportunity for me as a youngster to go and get this qualification and pursue my cricket career as well as my passion for fitness as well.
Perfect. Okay, and you've been in the Warriors squad for a couple of seasons now. How much emphasis is put on strength and conditioning and fitness, general fitness in that squad?
Yeah, well, these days there's a hell of a lot now, scientifically proven ways and methods of training and to get guys fitter, so you do see a lot of core strength used in the gym, such as your glutes, you know, your quads, hamstrings, everything getting strong. So especially for the fast bowlers, batters still the same, there's a lot of legs involved because it's all the sharp movements that are involved with cricket, the split-second reactions that you need to have at that one time that may count.
Sure. And you just mentioned then core strength. We're always talking to the Talented Athlete program players about the importance of core strength. I guess you answered some of it then, but yeah, could you just talk a bit more about that?
Well, core strength it's a whole body sort of strength. So if your core's strong, it's going to help you with your batting, your bowling. So that's why there's such an emphasis on it. So it's just a way to improve. If you're not strong there, then that's going to help you manage your bowling, your batting better. So there's always weaknesses in some people, you know, like osteitis pubis maybe because the glutes aren't firing as well as they should be, so therefore you got to go and you rehab your glutes, your squats, single leg squats, lunges, just to get that activation in the glutes. So yeah, just little things like that that are very important.
Sure. And I know in our recent meetings, we've had meetings with under 14 TAP members, and the running coaches identified players who lack core strength, which affects their running technique. So you're right, it's obviously extremely important. I know, speaking to Matt Innes, he's no longer at the WACA, but Steve Smith's at the WACA now, who's the new strength and conditioning person. But Matty and no doubt Steve talked a lot about leg strength, glute strength, so I guess once again that's you've pretty much already enlarged on that as to the importance of that area. Excellent. And what benefits have you personally gained from working in these areas of fitness?
Oh, it's probably I'm more knowledgeable in things, so that when people are giving us programs to do, I know a bit more on reasons why we're doing this, what it's going to benefit, and just little things like that. So that just helps because you've got that study behind you. I'm sure a lot of the other boys, they also know as well because they've been around it for so long, but the study really does help.
Sure. Okay, now just a break from momentarily from the fitness interview. I'd like to bring up the fact that you were involved in the Australian Under-19s program that ultimately won the last World Cup. So tell us a bit about that. That must have been a fantastic experience and achievement for you.
Yeah, it was. It was a really big achievement at that time, and at that age we had years of competitions played into before that competition happened, the World Cup happened, so there was a lot of behind the scenes going on. I think it was 2008 we spent a lot of time at the academy. There was games played against India here in Australia, then a series against Sri Lanka as well a while after that, and then all the national carnivals in between, and then the team was picked from there. So we really did have to we had a lot of cricket on for our age, and we had to work hard, and all those sort of things fell in place, and it went well personally, and I was fortunate enough to go away and be a part of that side. So yeah, it was a very good time.
Absolutely, yeah. And I'm thinking back on it, I suppose that was the culmination of you for a number of years. I remember out here, and you were in the under-15s schoolboys team that won the national championship, and you also represented the state in 17s and 19s. So you certainly know all about the pathway.
Yeah, the pathway is great too, and the kids coming through this pathway are going to have a lot of fun. It's one thing I used to love coming to training. You know, get mum and dad a bit at the door, get there early, couldn't wait for it. So it's an exciting time, and one you just don't know what holds after it. So
fantastic. Okay, now you mentioned a moment ago about the Centre of Excellence. What's the setup there in terms of strength, fitness, conditioning? They obviously place a lot of emphasis on there.
Yeah, it's pretty similar to what we've done here in the past. So you've got your running program separate, and then you've got your weights, your strength and conditioning is specified to what they've tested you and what you need to improve on. So for someone like myself, it was more a matter of my legs, getting them nice and strong. So with other people, it's getting their back strong, for example, because they have a weakness in that area. So it's specified for everyone's individual needs.
Sure. And also they have a pretty in-depth program. They have a sports psych there, and it goes a little bit over and above what you experience here. Yeah,
so there's a guy called Michael Lloyd there who is the bloke you were just talking about, and he's one guy we'd always go to once a week, twice a week, and you know you'd have a chat with him and you know run things by, which I found really good. You could just let anything off your chest because you were away from home at times, and you're only young, so it's good to have those sort of people around.
Excellent. Okay, now another important area of fitness is recovery. What do you have to go through there after, say, a typical shield match? How do you go about recovery?
Well, you're probably looking at an ice bath for anywhere from, everyone's different, 3 to 10 minutes at probably 10 to 12 degrees in the water. So in and out, hopping in, having a shower, and have a hot shower, back in the cold water, just to get the temperature of your core and your body down, because it's a long day out there in the field, especially when it's 40 degrees like it is today.
And stretching?
Stretching, there's a lot of that done during the week. After the game, yeah, stretching's fine, but sometimes it's more the fact of having an ice bath can be better than stretching. So
okay,
there's different alternatives. Everyone's different in what they want to do.
Sure. I know at our recent meetings with the under-14s and the under-15s and under-16s, TAP members will be going through the same meetings with Russell Mathander, who's our running coach we've employed, and Russell was very big on the players stretching after training, so they give themselves a really good chance of recovery. So
yeah,
good to know that you guys, the big guys, do the same or similar things. Okay, so that's just about it, Tom. But finally, what advice would you give to our talented athlete program members in terms of fitness?
The one main thing is to have some goals set out, especially if you don't like training. Just ease into it. Don't do too much, because if you do too much, you'll burn out and you'll find that you'll think that it's too hard. So if you can start off small, as hard as it is, because you'll probably feel like you want to go harder, in the long run it's going to benefit you more, because you can build on with small steps rather than go big steps and then stop and then go a big step again, stop. So if you can just have these little steps, build on them and improve that way, rather than going flat out and doing yourself or doing your head in a way, you're better off.
And maybe finding an aspect of fitness that you like.
Yeah, for example, maybe weights or something like that. Maybe long distance running, it might be sprints. Just find something that you like. That's the key.
All right, Tom, well, thank you very much for that. Very enlightening, and all the best for the future, mate.
Thanks, Linz. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Cheers.